Hello beautiful souls, and welcome to the very first episode of the Dawn Darling Show. It's good to connect with you. If you're new here, I'm Dawn, and it's a real great pleasure to be right back here, doing what I love, which is serving you guys in spirit. I'm truly, I suppose, in a place in life where it's just amazing to be able to get back up after a very funny kind of year last year. 2025 was a little bit mad, if not to say the least, and hopefully it wasn't too severe in you, but it's been absolutely lots of changes. We're right at the cusp of a brand new year, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen in this space for us here, and just really excited to open the doors and the channels for the spirit world to continue to come forward and work through me as a medium. I'm going to talk a little bit about myself just in a moment, but I'm letting you guys gather and just connecting with me. I'm absolutely excited to see our very first guest on the show, Leah. Hi Leah, thank you for being here. We are streaming live right across Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter and TikTok, right from my trance room at the moment. I'll talk to you more about what that means in a few months. Wherever you're joining from, thank you for being here with me in this moment. This show has been a long time coming, that's all I can say. I'm a psychic medium and mentor based here in Ireland, and today I'm opening the doors once more after 30 years of a career to what I lovingly call my spirit lounge, and a space where worlds meet, where healing happens and where love continues beyond the physical realms. And I truly believe that. For over 30 I've been walking very closely with the spirit world, having what I can only describe as incredible life-altering spirit adventures. Now I want to share some of those adventures with you openly, honestly and from my heart. And many of you have been with me before. We'll also be welcoming old friends and new guests from both sides of life to join me here, because I always say spirits have a lot to say and we just need to give them the platform to speak within. You know, I firmly believe this with every part of my being, that the soul truly does not die, and we continue to exist alive in spirit. Now, if you're tuning in, do say hello. I'm not going to see who's on Facebook, who's chatting with me, so you're going to need to be able to use that chat area to be able to connect with me. A lot of my work comes from lived experience as a medium. My journey has not been easy. It's been challenging. It's been really heartbreaking at times, but also very profoundly transformative. And every step of it has shaped me into the person that I am today. I suppose my hope is that by sharing my journey with you, it inspires you and reminds you that even through your own pain, there is purpose and there is a reason for everything that happens, even if it doesn't make sense at the time. I want this show to be a place where I can support you through your grief, maybe your spiritual development and your personal struggles. You know, you're not alone and you never have been, and I profoundly believe that our spirit people can come back and give us guidance from the afterlife. For those of you who feel called to go a little bit deeper with me, you're more than welcome to become a guest on this show. You can do that by visiting my website and submitting a request through the contact form directly there. I'll be putting up some links for all of that information in a while. If you're seeking a private online reading, you can also do that on my website. We're not going to do an awful lot of talking about the practical things of this evening. It could be just a case that we're just regrouping for those of you that haven't been with me for a while. My very first conscious encounter with the spirit world actually is, remember, for me going back, goes all the way back to the 70s, and I was literally just 2 years of age, where it involved an abduction case. So we're going to be talking about lots of things that's happened in my life, but I also want to hear about your spirit adventures, and if your loved ones, or perhaps you're a medium yourself, might want to pop on the show with me, build those connections together, you know. And over the years for me, lots of things happened, but everything changed for me in 2003 after the traumatic passing of my son, and I suppose that was a moment that cracked my world completely open. It was my major calling, it was my light bulb moment, and really from that point on, assisting those in the spirit world was no longer something I just experienced. It became a role and a responsibility that I took on board, and one I have taken as seriously as I know how to over the years. I mean, we've had the crack over in Angels Whisper for those of you that know me on that platform, but here at the Dawn Darling Show, I will be speaking directly with your loved ones in spirit and providing love and support and guidance from them. There may be times when I enter trance states, allowing you to meet my spirit team as they step forward to share support and wisdom, and yes, speak directly with your loved ones as well. That can happen in trance states. We're not at that place yet. This is really sacred work, and this is a real profound connection that happens directly with your loved one. But this part of the show is very much about just settling ourselves in, opening our hearts, and I suppose allowing you to find your way towards my energy, and if my style of work works for you. I just want you to know that this is your safe space. This is a place for you to be able to it's just not just about spirit, because life happens while we're grieving, and that's what I've learned about my journey. I am blessed to be a mother. I'm blessed to have lots of life experiences, and my children are very intuitive. I was an intuitive child, so I understand the importance of, I suppose, raising an intuitive child. And I want you to know that you can reach out to me if you've got questions about your children in any way whatsoever that you might want to put to me or even my spirit team in future dates. So today this is just really getting to know each other, knowing if this platform that I'm using, which is a brand new platform, allows us to connect with each other in a nice way, and we get that good wonderful flow of information and credibility with the spirit world beginning to build. I'm really excited to be connecting with you. I'm really excited to be growing this community together and to walk beside you, as spirit will lead the way. And often I find that there's times with the spirit world that they give us these signs. You might get them your side to be here at this specific time, which is every Thursday evening, 8 p.m, to the best of my human capacity. You know, I firmly believe that love never dies, the soul never leaves, and no matter where you are on your journey, you're always going to be connected to the spirit world in some way. And so I'm just going to take the time just to ground in the energies this evening, recognizing that it's going to take some time for people to find this platform. It's going to take you time maybe to feel brave enough to be able to say, hey, that message could be for me. The way that I work as a medium is so vast and so great. I'm very, very fortunate in my mediumship. Am I the best medium in the world? No. But do I have an amazing spirit team? Absolutely. And they give what they give, they get what they get. We've had some profound connections in the past. I mean, my life is a series of events that happened that helped me intertwine in the lives of other people. And this platform is that space for sharing as much of that as I can. You'll also notice that I'm a bit daft, as Irish people usually are, and I do tend to put up some silly posts from time to time here on this page, which is perfectly fine. Interact away. You'll also find me on the streets busking, and it's something that I'll talk about in this space. You'll be able to recommend a loved one song if I feel drawn to it. You'll be able to request a song, and then I might say, right, I'm going to record that, but I'm also going to make a spirit connection, and I'm going to share that on the page. So there's lots of wonderful ways that spirit loves to communicate with us. Good evening, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Do let me know where you're tuning in from. Hi, Nicola. Hi, Nolene. Hi, Leah. It's great to see you guys here. Say hello, because we are not streaming directly from Facebook. It's a completely different, brand new studio I'm working from that I've been trying to set up quite a number of months now, and the building and the rebranding of my website, dawndarling.com. Please move on over there, because that's where you're going to be able to say, guys, I just want to basically be on your show. I want to come on there, Dawn, and I want to get a reading directly with you. So it's going to require some of us to be super brave. I know, we're very fortunate that we have lots of gutsy people here at Dawn Darling. So I'm hoping to see some of your faces in the hot seat here with me live on screen and getting those direct connections. Hi, Gráinne down in Ballybuffet. It's lovely to see you. I hope that you've had a wonderful Christmas. I'm going to know some of you guys already. Some of you have been with me in person. Some of you have been with me online. Some of you may have been to some of my events over the years. Bear in mind, this is a woman that's done 20 odd years of serving spirit the length and breadth of Ireland. So anything can happen in this space, and that's the truth of it. And trust me, very little shocks me. So that's what I want you guys to know. Just most importantly, respecting your privacy. Spirit like to respect our privacy as best they can in public platforms like this, but it's not always possible. Know that you need, I'm going to do the formalities, but we're not going to talk about this again. Know that you need to be 18 years of age to receive a reading with me directly, and know that also it's really important that you're just in the best place that you can be, but recognizing that when we're grieving, it can be a hot bloody mess. I've been a hot bloody mess this past year with my father passing. Hi, Leah in Farnham there in UK. So I do understand it, and grief can take its toll on you at times. Sometimes we're away with the fairies, but we at the end of the day, there's always a point in time where the spirit world will show up. They will give evidence that they're there, that they're present with us, and that they're walking the journey with us, that we have not been forgotten. And certainly we do not forget them. We'll be talking about your grief, all the ways that you have grieved, and all the ways that maybe your loved one showed up to help you know that they were around. I want to hear about your stories. Don't be scared. Submit them. Get them into me so that we can, we can talk about them. Sometimes you'll see me off on a downer. I put up posts on my website here where something interesting's happened, and the spirit worlds have aligned me with somebody. They've gone out of their way to make sure that I was at a specific point in a specific location so I can meet that person, and literally anything can happen. Sometimes the stories take a while to come through. Sometimes I meet people out on the streets and they would say, "Dawn, do you remember I met you back blah blah blah," and it's wonderful because it's really, really heartwarming to recognize that mediumship and the ability to be able to speak to the spirit world absolutely can change lives. It's a very holistic way, from my point of view, to work through your grieving process. Now, everything about grief can be said, but not everything has to be. And that's what I found. What I love about the spirit world is their ability to come back and remind us who they were through laughter, through memories, through experiences, etc. that we've had. Some of you guys have been in the hot seat with me in terms of my messages from Heaven sessions last year and the year before. For those of you that have been guests, you guys are amazing. And from time to time, I will be pulling somebody from my audience, my active members, but most importantly, where spirit draw me to with you. And even as we're talking right now, I feel your loved ones coming forward. And from time to time, I'll be pulling one person and saying, right, come on, would you like to come on a message as a private session with me? And obviously those things come with their clauses, and it's recorded and it's made public for people. But if you feel like you would like to be that person, because it's our very, very, very first show here at the Dawn Darling Show, I'm going to extend that gift to one of my viewers this evening. To open up the energies, to say thank you for your loyalty, thank you for your love, thank you for your faith and your belief in me. Good evening, Beverly. Good evening, Barbara. It's nice to see you. I'm glad that you're tuning in all the way from Spain. Hi, Bernadette. Thank you for being here. I will do my best, as always, to get to people and to acknowledge you in this space. I'd love to see anybody. Have you got a question for me this evening? Anybody, something that they would like me to tune in and take a look at mindfully? And know that, I can go to your loved one, but I can also go to the angelics and those that come forward in that way, in my own spirit team, to be able to share insights about a challenge that maybe you just want a little bit of insight. It would be a nice icebreaker for now. I didn't come into this session with a major agenda, more so from the point of view of just wanting to really just kind of put down our roots, invite your loved ones into the space and see what happens. Opening my heart and extending my energy to the spirit world right now, knowing and trusting that those that want to have a voice will come forward. Straight away, I'm having a little bit of a problem here with my throat. Who's got a sore throat right now? I know it's cold season, so it's a little bit of a throwaway message, but I can feel it. There's somebody that possibly passed the spirit world through choking. Asphyxia. So you notice with me as a medium, I often get the physical symptoms because I'm a physical medium. And we'll be talking lots about different types of mediumship and my experiences. I'm not a full developed physical medium. I do what I do. But my guides do definitely get very, very, transparent in my space. You'll know they're here because you'll hear my voice change. Right now there's a little bit of something going on with me at the moment, so I apologise for that. Hi, Barbara. I know that we've had a wee chat about this in another realm. I always like to be transparent. If I know you, or if I've connected with a loved one before, I'm always going to acknowledge that with you because I think truth is really, really important. You will never see me on other people's Facebook pages. I don't do it. I'm very, very antisocial on Facebook. My neutrality is really, really important to me in the way that the spirit world work with me. And what you see is kind of what you get. I'm still aware of this gentleman that's coming here, and there's a feeling of choking and struggling to breathe. Now, Barbara, I don't know if this is related to Manuel, if anybody recognises this. I see a dark-haired male with me here at the moment. He's all grins. I feel like he was missing a tooth, the person that's connecting with me. And it feels like as if this person, kind of struggled with health. The breathing was an issue for them. And I'm going to hold off for a full connection just yet, because I feel like we just need to keep navigating through this connection with this person, but also keeping my attention with you guys. These guys are raring to go. That's what I can tell you. Good evening, Siobhan. It's nice to see you in space with me this evening. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Don't forget, you can get involved by sharing out there this live and inviting other people to join by tagging, etc. You never know where I'm going to go to. That's the thing. I need to know who this man is, because he's making me really giddy. I feel like if he could stand up really tall, he would. I don't believe he was a tall man. That's what he's trying to tell me. I feel like he's kind of middle of the road. He's a lot much taller than me. Probably sitting somewhere about 5'4", 5'6" at the very, very most. So he's kind of middle of the road. I see brownish hair with him. I see him very cheeky. And a very pleasant person to be around. Good evening, Myla. I just wanted to acknowledge those extra people that are joining the show right now at the moment. I'm excited, Beverly. You know, I'm not going anywhere. Every Thursday night, 8 p.m. You could nearly set your clock by me. I'm going to be here religious. I even have a timer and everything to make sure I show up, because I've not been shown up. But you know what? While I've not been shown up, doesn't mean that Spirit went away. They've been waiting so patiently for me to get my act in gear. And I'm so grateful for their honesty with me in my life. I know that as this man comes through here, he's wiping his brow. It feels like he was definitely feel as if maybe he's kind of got some kind of flu or kind of cold going on with him. And thank you, Paula, for doing some tags there with people. I appreciate that so very much. Don't forget, as you're coming through the page, follow the page. It helps my algorithms big time. And every now and again, you might see me flying on a dragon or a unicorn on the page. If you want to see me flying on some other animal, let me know and I will talk to my AI about all of that. I do that simply to make you guys smile, and it makes me feel happy. That's it. It's nice to feel young. I'm hitting 48 years of age. AI is great for smoothing out the skin, so it is. All of these things. But as I connect with this man, what I feel with him, he was very passionate about life. I feel like I want to see him painting walls outside, painting fences. I feel like this connection to him, he was very much the handyman. He could pretty much put his hand to literally most things. I can even see him, he's lying down on his back underneath the car. So this guy spent a lot of time at home in the latter part of his life. I know that with him. I know that the heart was under strain and under pressure before he transitioned into the spirit world. If you recognize this man, speak up, okay? Because I know he's not going anywhere. He's waited quite a long time for this conversation, bless him. So I'm not convinced it's Manuel yet, my dear. Amanda, good evening. I know this man could talk 9 to the dozen. I feel so happy when I connect with him, as if it's a relief that he's finally getting through. I know it with him also. Again, I come back to the chest, as if my lungs are swimming a little bit. There's a bit of fluid going on here. So everything about his health and his passing feels like it's up here in this area. And he's even making me very short of breath. Please stop, because that's too much. I can barely talk with him. But I know also he was on tubes, he was on oxygen. I also know that there's something about blood thinners, so he had quite a few health issues going on from his heart to his chest, and needing oxygen here through the nose as well. I know that he was also married, and I need to acknowledge his wife, his partner, and it's just a very nice man. And I'm going to hold off and wait to see if any of you guys come back with this connection with him, to see if we can validate who he is in any way whatsoever. I do feel like this man possibly is Irish, so I need to acknowledge that. It feels, because I can feel the accent coming through, and it feels local to Ireland here. For those of you that wonder, I'm based in Donegal, which is on the west coast of Ireland. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And I feel always very blessed to live where I live. However, it does not beat the beautiful aspects of the UK that I've seen in the past and got to enjoy, etc. I know it's a year where the spirit worlds are going to have me moving around quite a lot and making new connections and travelling. So I've spent a lot of time preparing for this part of my life and this journey. And most things are now in place to be able to facilitate that. So the Dawn Darling Show is going on the move. This medium, as I say, is on the move. In Belfast, you could see me. In Dublin, you could see me in the not too distant future. There's a trip to Edinburgh coming up, and all sorts of wonderful places. Everywhere I go, my busking speaker goes with me. And there's a reason for that. We'll talk about that at some other point in time. Have you a question you would like to ask me that you would like me to connect in with you for this evening? And let me see. I'm getting used to this new platform, so there we go. Right now I'm opening up the energy to asking me a question. I'm going to wait to see who's brave enough to say, hey Dawn, can you tell me a little bit about this? Can you tell me a little bit about that? We'll see what happens, you know. I've gone in crazily telepathic. Crazily, I mean, the level of telepathy with me is insane. I mean, it was funny before, it was odd before, but I'm just so tuned in and I love it. Good evening, Marie and Akel. Thank you so very much. It's lovely to see you in the space with me this evening. Good evening, Aileen. Welcome to space. Thanks for joining me, guys. Again, we are live on all platforms, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, all of those magical places going live. I love it. I love it. And I love the freedom of being able to work in this way. Anyway, I'm waffling. When Dawn's waffling, just say, Dawn, you're waffling. Get down to business. Get down to business. Good evening, everybody. So let's see what we can do. So nobody so far has claimed this lovely man. I feel like I want to talk about Bob. I have a man by the name of Bob Roberts here with me. I know we're a little bit slow in the comments. I love all these questions that are coming in right now. Let's see who I'm going to go to. You know, Aileen, you've been in my thoughts quite a lot, you know, and I have to acknowledge that, you know, that I have felt that, what's the best way to describe it in spirit? Just give it to me. I want to just focus in with Aileen at the moment, and her question is, my question is, what do you see for my results? I'd greatly appreciate any information, guidance, please. Even though, you know, we're bound by law not to give information about legal matters, and I need to put that out there first and foremost, okay? Or health, or, you know, sensitive topics, we'll call it that. I know, Aileen, your heart has been very heavy, first of all, as I connect in with you. And your heart's been so heavy, I mean, it's like you're carrying something that just shouldn't be, if that makes sense. You know, it's like, how has this happened? And there's been a very vulnerable time in your life. And I know that as I just blend with your energy for a second, I want to just really come into that place where you're quite anxious at times, which is, I'm not sure what the situation is just yet, but I just feel like an anxiousness. And I feel as if, and if you can come back and give me feedback, Aileen, that would be amazing. Please. I feel that with you, it's like you're swallowing all of your emotions, and you're doing your best to contain yourself. You're doing your best not to cry or to kind of overthink it. You're doing your best to be far too spiritual, where sometimes it's okay to be able to say, do you know what, this hurts and I don't want this. But unfortunately, it's like one of those things I feel like you can't change. You just have to move through it, and you have to ride the storm, for want of better words. Your outcome's good. Your outcome's very, very good. Your outcome's extremely good. And that's the bit that you've got to trust in. That's not easy when it feels like you're climbing lots and lots of steps, and you have to pause, and you kind of have to take a deep breath and think, have I got the energy to go to the next level? How can I keep sustaining this? I feel like you're physically tired, and there's something going on in the realms of health, because I've mentioned health and I've mentioned legalities. Put the legalities aside, the spirit world are showing me health, and they're telling me that the worst thing was finding out. And then when you found out, you were able to take control, and you were able to make decisions. The decisions that you're making is really, really good. I mean, I don't know what this means to you, but I have to say to you, you need to drink water from bottles, filtered water, versus drinking water from taps. It's never good for the system, especially, I don't know what part of the world you're in, but in Ireland here, they still have pretty bad water. I want to go to that, and I want to make sure that we're making sure that you're hydrated, because there'll be times when you won't be able to keep food down. That's what I'm feeling. There will be times You need to, thank you for verifying there, Aileen. Yes, absolutely, a lot of sense. I suffer with really bad anxiety, and yes, I don't cry, I keep it all in and try to get on with it and pretend I'm okay when I'm not. I need to give you a massive hug, if you would receive one, because that brave face, that strong lady, that strong girl, that warrior that's in you is allowed to cry every now and again. Do you know what I mean? If you need to cry for a whole week, go for it. You're holding on, and your spirit is asking you, please let the tears out. The tears represents the cleansing of the soul. It represents you honouring your truth and the sadness. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I sometimes think we used to, not so much now, but we used to live in a society where it wasn't okay to talk about feelings or to show our feelings, or we're dysfunctional, or there's something wrong with us mentally, etc. I don't believe in that. I believe it's really important not to brush things and our feelings under the carpet, because our feelings matter, and Aileen, your feelings matter. I feel like I need to acknowledge a grandmother in the spirit world with you from your mum's side of the family. I know that she's a small framed lady, and I know that she brings in beautiful angels around her, and almost as if she's telling you, you need something that you can touch, that you can put, like I always say a teddy bear, you can't beat a teddy bear, but it's whatever you're comfortable with. It's a blankie. You need something that you have that you can put your emotions into and begin to kind of deal with the it'll sometimes feel like there's a mountain of stuff that's buried down there. And it's nice to say that you're much stronger than you think, but this is not a time where you have to always be brave. This is a time where you can scream, kick, cry, and say, poor me, I won't swear because I'm trying to not do that anymore. It's bad health found out about, my goodness. Yeah, I'm glad that your results are coming back clear. You know, and I can feel that they will continue to do that. Okay, bear in mind you're under medical care, so I can say that, and you're working with your care team. I feel that everything is in that place where you in 2 months' time you'll know exactly where you stand with your health. But it is one of these times where you just can't bury things. You might decide that some counselling might be good for you. You know, speaking sometimes to a spiritual counsellor can also be very therapeutic. Going to somebody for healing sessions can also be another way to help you cope with the mammoth process that you're going through at the moment. I'm sorry that you've had this news and this experience. You know, my heart is with you. My heart and prayers go out to you. I know that your grandmother's a very, very, very... Your grandmother is a very calm kind of woman, you know, and she's there just... She brushes your hair for you. And I know that sounds a bit odd, but she sits brushing your hair. There must be something about that being really important to you. I feel like there's somebody else in the family that had cancer that passed to the spirit world with cancer also. So this is something that's kind of worried you quite a lot because of this situation. I know your grandmother is very dear to you. I feel like she wants to give you a chain, and that chain will kind of give you a little bit of security in knowing that you're not going through this, because it's like something that you remember your loved ones and gives you faith and strength as you hold it here at the front of your neck. That's where I feel like I want to be. Thank you for acknowledging the messages. You're very good at typing so quickly. I appreciate that. I hope you guys are all with me. Who's still with us here, and who's holding the light for Aileen in her recovery, because I know me and the spirit worlds are. I'm asking everybody just to take a moment just to hold that light of healing for Aileen and to just really help her navigate this challenge with confidence and faith, and know that we are giving you a massive soul hug in just release. You know, I'm taking a deep breath because I feel all of that emotion, and you know, it'll feel like sometimes you're walking around in the wilderness and you can't see where you're going. You know, there are brighter days ahead. Your grandmother, oh wow, I love that. Yes, grandmother always used to brush my hair, and yes, my dad died after overcoming cancer, so did my grandmother and uncles. So they understand your worry, but know that that's not your outcome. Your outcome is very much to grow into your elderly years content, happy. But we do need to work on this relaxing of what we call the solar plexus, so that you begin to kind of, I suppose, process what's been accumulating in that area in your life. I really recommend you either come to me over here in Donegal, I don't know where you're based, for healing, or you find somebody local to you that's willing to help you just calm that nervous energy that's in your space down. At your pace though, at your pace. You know, you're so special, Aileen, and I don't think you know the massive amount of encouragement you've given to other people. I know this is coming directly from my own team, and particularly my guide, Geraldine. I know that they're saying that you have done so much for other people. It's your time to rest now. It's really your time to rest and just to be held in that secure blanket of love. And I'm going to leave that message with you. But I know that our conversations are not complete. I know that you'll be back in the space with me. I want to know how you get on with this journey, and I want you to know that you're not doing it alone. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Dawn Darling Show. It's really lovely to connect with you all. I would love if you guys would just give me a soul hug right now by sharing a memory of something magical that maybe you witnessed through my work over the past number of years, something that was special to you, or something that you saw somebody else experience that allowed you to feel, wow, this is a wow moment. Like, I mean, we're all tuned in at certain degrees, and we'll have many different conversations. I want to get some structure into this show, so that we can one week do this and maybe talk about spiritual development, another week we can talk about life, another week we could be talking to your loved ones. It doesn't have to be all on the same vibe all of the time, and I'm totally open to new experiences and new platforms, and just finding our way with the show, and you know, making a difference where it counts. You know, you guys might decide you want to sponsor the show. I have a GoFundMe set up where I am working on trying to finally fund my healing centre. I've got my home in place and the land. Everything that was meant to happen has happened, and I'm glad to say that it's taken a lot of turbulence to make that happen, but it has happened. And the healing sessions I'm conducting with people in space are going really well, along with people coming in for individual readings and group sessions. You know, you're very welcome to, and I'm not going to mass promote on here, I'm putting it out here on this show, you're very welcome to plan an evening with your friends and come on out to me here on the border of Derry, Donegal, for a very special intimate evening with your loved ones. And that's a nice way for people to kind of get together and reminisce and remember everything that's going on. I still need to acknowledge this man who's very patient, and even if we don't place him this evening, he's not going to go away, because I feel like he's part of this welcoming committee for this particular show. Good evening, Barbara. You're very welcome, Aileen. Massive soul hugs. So I'm going to get you guys to come back because all of your fabulous messages have gone off the page there. I'm going to put this up, so for those of you that might want to become a guest on the show, if you just hit on that button there, become a guest, that's going to send you directly to where you can get more information on the types of topics I'm looking for. You know, maybe, look, I've got some of its stuff. If you've lost someone you loved and you want to make a connection, you can come live on the screen here with me if you feel comfortable with that. Another way that you can get involved with the show is if you need some advice and you want to come on live here with me, or you simply ask a question through the comments. I'm going to put that back up again because it didn't last very long. So just click that button there very quickly. It will bring you over to my website. If you happen to be a parent of a gifted child, I love these types of conversations. I think they're amazing. If you were a gifted child, if you had an imaginary friend, if you know, saw the spirit world like me, as I mentioned earlier on, my first real memory of seeing spirit was about 2 years of age, just under 2 years of age, when I lived in Rochdale, and there was a major crime committed at that time just a few doors away from where we were living. In the year or so beforehand, and that little girl used to come and visit me. You'll be able to hear all about that in my upcoming book, but my very first book, which has been launched in February, is called The Way of the 12, and we'll be talking a lot about that as well. So I mean, anything can happen. I'm also open to plugging things for people. If you have something that you're working on, a project you're working on, you want to come on my show and it's compatible with this type of topic, you know, I would love to have you on the show so that we can get you some momentum and some traction on your particular project, you know. So other ways that you can get involved is if you've met me out on the streets, you've met me in the past, maybe you've been to an event and you want to just come on and chat about your experience, and who knows, you might just get a brand new message. I'd love to have you on the show as well. Another way that you can get involved is if you have a song that you want to dedicate to one of your loved ones. Now, you guys know I love to sing. I'm not going to say I'm a Whitney. No way. Definitely not. But I love to sing songs that have meaning. And you guys need to know, just before Christmas, I put down my agenda for Christmas for the songs that I wanted to sing. And one of the songs I sing on the street is Tell Me There's a Heaven by Chris Rea. And I'd literally been singing it and driving around in a Mini in my head. I was buying a Mini for about a week before Christmas. That's how spirit influences me in my everyday life. We will be talking about my everyday life and what it's like to be a medium as well. And a medium, especially where the spirit world engage quite often with me throughout the day or throughout the week. So I put this song up on my fridge because I like to keep myself on track where I can when I have major projects that I need to kind of keep on top of. And next thing, sadly, it was announced that Chris Rea had passed. So it was about 2 or 3 days before that happened. That's happened with lots of different music artists over the year with me because of the music connection with me. I've always had a major connection with Karen Carpenter. You never know, we may even be able to get Tony, one of my dear friends, on here for a live chat as well. So I mean, the thing is, there are people that have been wanting to be part of this space for a long time. I just didn't have the time and the energy to put into this project. This year is about catching up with people that I have commitments with, to have a good chinwag with them in their spirit world and what life is like, because the world has really evolved massively over the past number of years, and it's been absolutely powerful to see the growth. I also know with change comes a lot of uncertainty, so I want to talk about lots of different things. I mean, this platform is just not about mediumship. It's about freaking life, because life sometimes... Sorry, I did it. Oh my God, Aileen, help, I did it. I'm trying to refrain. God forgive me. If you have a song that you want to dedicate, coming back to that, you can submit that on my website as well. And if it's something that's within my vocal range and there is a story behind it that spirit says, you've got to do this song, you've got to do this song, and I'm absolutely going to commit to singing that song and recording segments of it for you. So it's a special kind of tribute, and I do this in my live in spirit nights. I haven't done one all year because my own dad passed this year, and he was my absolute best friend, and I don't want to go on about it too much because it's taken quite a long time to help me regulate from it, and I'm still not there. But I had a show lined up in June of this year in Donegal here, and I just didn't have the heart to stand down, and I got up when I did what I needed to do. And I want to thank everybody that was there on that night for your honesty, for your support, for helping me stay strong and getting through it. It was not an easy thing, and I don't know, but there's been people I really sincerely admire, like Sally Morgan lost her husband not too long ago, and she ploughed her way back into work again. And I think that's a powerful thing to be able to do when you're a medium and you lose somebody. How do you cope with that grief? We know that they're there, but there's still so many layers that can happen. I became a medium. I was always a medium, but I became aware of my mediumship through the loss of my son, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show. I want to talk to mums and dads that understand that pain. We've had some guests on in the past, from Sarah. Yeah, I did something to my finger the last day, so you'll see a wee plaster on me here at the moment. Rushing. But that's it. Like, I want to talk about two parents. I mean, some of the first sessions I ever did as a medium were with parents that were grieving, and I was featured in Take a Break, Fate and Fortune magazine. Lots of things were happening back in those days. I want to come back to that place where my mediumship is very, very raw. It's very honest. We're not going to do a lot of mediumship this evening because I'm just finding my wings again, settling my spirit, making sure that we're all on the same page. I would rather you jumped on board in the video section with me here and actually became a guest. And the great thing is, you don't have to be the only one. You might want to bring somebody with you. This platform can host, I think, up to 10 people at one time. So know that as I extend that gift to you, you're not going to be put on the spot. You can have support. I can arrange 2 or 3 people, other people to come in, so it'll feel like a group reading or a group chinwag. And I'm going to have loads of guests on here. I have a beautiful lady from Canada coming on. I've got a lovely guy down in Cork coming on. So there's lots of people. Another lovely lady over in Birmingham is an amazing medium as well, popping into the space. So it's all happening here, guys, here at the Dawn Darling Show. I can see that some of you have put some questions in. And I know you're all hanging in there hoping something might happen. But today was really very much about me navigating this new platform and being able to figure out how it all works, making sure that I can streamline and get it cohesive for you and that you feel at home. Do you guys feel at home here? is there anything missing? Is there anything I can add to this experience going forward that you could drop into this space that's going to make this space just a bubbly, bright, energetic space, but also one that helps us transform our pain into passion and purpose, for want of better words. I'm going to hold off. I'm going to breathe. I'm going to ask all of us just to take a moment. If you're going through something right now, just take a moment just to center yourself by closing your eyes and just breathe. Just be with the energies of those that gather around you from the spiritual realms. Know that my healing angels are working with you. And just pause for a second, and we just welcome that light of the heavenly realms. We thank them for bringing us all to this space together to collectively align with each other this evening. And know that as you align with those in the spirit world, they've got your back. They know your pain, they know your suffering, they know your silent thoughts, they know your silent worries. They know. And they hear you. They're not leaving. They're right there. All you've got to do is just ask them for that little bit of support, that little bit of understanding. Peace is something that we're all entitled to have. And if there's scenarios in your life that are not peaceful, no, it's not your fault. It's just the natural evolution of things occurring around you. It's not about pushing people away. Sometimes we just have to claim a little bit of space for ourselves in it all. You know, my grandmother taught me when I was very, very small the importance of prayer. And I went to Catholic school, and there I also learned the importance of prayer. But I didn't know how to feel that prayer until the past number of years. Really, sometimes I've put out prayers to the spirit world, but there were more cries for help. You know, we've all done that. Who's here ever cried for help from something unseen or a greater power? Most of us have done that at some point in time in our lives, you know. And it can be tough, but know that the power of prayer becomes very, very real when we put a whole pile of faith and love behind it. You know, there's ample amounts of everything for all of us in this world. We've just been willing to receive that and to be open to the possibilities that peace doesn't have to be very far away from us. It can be right here in this moment and in this time. So I'm wishing for peace for all of you for the new year ahead. And when times are turbulent, know that I wish also for strength for you, and the absolute knowing that you are being guided and influenced in a way that's going to help you make clear decisions. Sometimes things can't happen until they're ready to happen. And I've learned that about life. Sometimes we have to just to take things in our stride and not force anything to happen, because to do so can go against the natural order of things. You know, there's no point getting frustrated, and there's no point, it's just wasted energy. Worry is wasted energy, and it's not an easy thing to live by. But in my book The Way of the 12, which we'll be talking about a little bit here as well from time to time, and I every now and again as it's published I will do a reading here for you guys in the probably not the next show. I want all of us just to settle in just before it gets to that point where it's being published. I'm going to read a little bit of it, like a little book launch here. It's going into some of the local bookstores. It'll be available on Amazon and all major platforms for you to download, and on Kindle as well. Excuse me. And so in that, it shows us how to live life spiritually. Some of this stuff has been channeled to me directly through from my guides, etc., that work with me, my spirit team, and we all have a spirit team. So this is not an exclusive club. You need to know that you've got your own spirit team, and I would like you to have a better relationship with them. But I would love, wow, lovely to see you, Sarah. Absolutely lovely to see you in space. Thank you, Beverly, for that comment. Just acknowledging a few of you there. And I'll come back and I'll probably answer at least one more question before we wrap up in the next 10 minutes. Paula has put in something fabulous there. I'm going to share that. Let me see. I'm learning this space at the moment. Hey, I'm up there. I'm not sure how to explain my miracle I had at the airport, but a lady out of nowhere came to me and all of a sudden looked in her eyes and felt Jesus come through me. Oh, I love that. That woman had spirit in her soul. Yeah, the eyes are the window to the soul, they say. You know, she's got spirit in her soul when you're feeling the essence of Jesus there. She's obviously a person that prays and is deeply rooted in her faith. And the book of The Way of the 12 is not necessarily about, it's a hard book to explain, but it's so simple to read and easy to read. It's one of those things where it's about exploring religion in its background, but also recognizing that we can take the good bits from religion and be our own sovereign selves without being attached or affiliated with a religion. If you are, I'm not anti-religion. I think it's a wonderful thing. If it gives you structure, comfort, and ease in your life, then absolutely. And if I can learn from you, I mean, I have gone into situations in my locality here where I've been involved in Christian faiths, Muslim faiths, all sorts of different faiths, and I think it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So I want you to know that this is a place for everybody. This is not just because we are spiritually inclined or hippies or whatever. It's a platform for anybody that wants to sit here sovereignly in peace with me and with you and hold space for this light that's coming through into our planet. And so the Way of the 12 talks about this light and how we can receive it through divine intervention from higher beings that are working with us on a continuous basis to help us have sovereignty on this planet and kind of peace, which we don't have an awful lot of. There's pockets and there's people doing amazing things, but we have also got to look into the shadows, and where the shadows are, that's where spirit needs to be. And that's where we as humans are conduits for that energy from my point of view. And as we hold space for the healing of this planet, we're holding space for the whole cosmos, for everything that exists. And that's really important, that as humans we play our role. But we'll talk more about that once I strip it back, and we're getting to that point in time where maybe some of you are interested in studying this book with me and want to come on board for private sessions, etc., so that you can find your way in the world. You know, that we're not islands, we're all a collective energy. And you know, I know, like, we know it because those of us that are very, very in tune, our frequency, my frequencies become very, very in tune, which has sometimes made it very, very hard to be in heavy energies. Actually, not sometimes, a lot of the time. And I've had to make very firm choices on what I allow and don't allow into my space. So this book and the energy and frequency of this book could be strong and vibrant as it's sent out into the world. It's not necessarily a new story. It's based on lots of different concepts, but there is chants in there that have come in from the higher realms through me that are new. And I work very specifically with a guide who has been in my space for a very, very, very long time, and I only became aware of him over the past 4 or 5 years since my work with my twin flame started. That's another conversation. We'll talk about at another point in time for those of you that are interested in twin flames and the energies that come with that, and how to love yourself while you're going through that process. There's been a lot of healing in my life, but the guide that came through is a man called Paul, who was known as Saul in the Bible. And so there's been multiple sessions with him recorded that allowed the facilitation of these teachings to come through, the ones that are available in the Way of the 12 and the ones that are coming in the visual aspects through the Teachings of Spirit book that I'm writing, which is my second book. So it's not been an easy journey, and I know you're walking yours. There's lots of you tuning in from different platforms. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an expert, but I have definitely lived, and I'm definitely open to new concepts and new conversations and anything that helps us all evolve and grow in this space. I'm going to go back. I flew to Colorado, Paula says, to pick up my granddaughter I adopted at the hospital. When she came to me, I was about to have a breakdown. You are amazing that you did that. And I know there must have been so much emotional energy connected to all of that experience. But know that you have been a lifeline in so many ways for the ancestors of that little one and for that child to have a better, brighter future. I'm very proud of you, Paula, and I'm so glad that the little bit that I know of you, that's it. I mean, we all can't do everything, but if we're all doing a little bit of something good, we are all making a difference in some way. And really and truly, that's the kind of story I want to hear about that, Paula. I want to, you know what, if you've done something unusual in your life, something that's really challenged you, but you stuck to your guns and you followed through and you just listened to your intuition, this is what you're doing. If you're a foster parent, whatever it is that you've done, you know, I want to know about it. I want you to be a guest here. I want to hear about it. We all need positive experiences and positive conversations. If we get enough momentum on this show, I will go and I will escalate it twice a week if there is enough people coming forward to be able to kind of build a good platform from. Amanda says she knew a Bob but don't know if it's him. I'm going to hold that thought, Amanda, and I'm going to trust that we'll be back all here next Thursday and see what happens with those connections. This evening was very much about introducing the space, letting you know that Dawn's back and Dawn ain't going anywhere for the rest of the year, and I'm committed fully to being here with you guys, which is wonderful. Good evening, Hazel. Welcome. Thank you so very much for being in the space. I'm just going to go back here. Maria, hello. I wonder, can you look up a question? Be a couple again. Oh, that's a good question, Maria. I'm coming to that in one moment. And I like questions like that because I love working in the realms of romance, purpose, career. And yes, this is very much about loved ones, but anything can happen on the Dawn Darling Show, and anywhere I can be of service, I will be. Maria Scorpio. You must be tuning in from a few different places. I see that there's... Oh, you're okay. Never ever late. Always on time, Hazel. Always exactly where you're meant to be when you're meant to be there. Trusting that Bob will show back up when he's ready. And coming back to the lovely Maria Philippe. Let me see. Just connecting into your vibration. Could you just acknowledge that you're still with me, Maria, if that's okay, before I proceed? Because it's always good to be live and in the moment. It's been a good session this evening. We're just about to wind down. Hey girls, it's nice to see my girls in the space. I hope I'm seeing some of you guys in the members area. That's a whole different show, but on Sunday evening, for those of you that don't know it's on my members space in Zoom. So that's a completely private event for those of you that want to pop into that. So I'm just going to wait for Maria to come back to me. But in the meantime, folks, don't forget, you can get very much involved in this. Just visit my website. Go on over there. Catch up with the videos, the tutorials about development that maybe you've missed out on, that you haven't had an opportunity to see. Know that they're available both on Facebook, most of them, and YouTube, and also my website if you just want where everything is. So that's how you can get involved there. Just follow the links. Are you a parent of a gifted child? I'd love to talk to you. And if you have a desire to have a one-to-one private with me, you can book a spirit session with me directly at that link. As always, I'm available for in-house and online sessions. Good. Alright, so I'm not sure that Maria's still with us. I haven't heard back from her, so I'm going to park that for now. When I'm coming into the next session, I would like my questions in advance, because I won't always be taking questions directly in the public chat. If you send them in to me, then I can screen them out. Don't give too much information. As they say, don't feed the medium. I don't want to know. I just want to be able to feel my way through your vibrations and understand exactly what's coming up for you at this particular timing in this moment. Pleasure, folks. And I'm going to just sign off and thank you all for being here. You know what to do for next week. So if you'd like, Beverly, anybody want to be in the hot seat, Amanda, Paula, anybody want to be in the hot seat with me, just feel free to reach out, okay? Have a great week, and I'll be thinking of you all. Wishing you all a fabulous evening. Take care. Night night for now.